Hi guys, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. I have your full moon in Libra reading. This will take us through the week of through Easter, right? So we're going to go through like the 20th. And the full moon is on the 19th of April. So we're going to read collective energies. I'm going to talk to you about the overarching themes. I'm just prepping to send out an email about this energy. It's very important. If you guys missed the email, you can sign up on my subscriber list on the website, and you'll start getting them in the months to follow. But I always do repost these if you miss it. If it's already gone out, I always repost them on Facebook, on the Facebook page. So it's at Spiritual Material Girl. And if you want to sign up for the newsletter, you can go to spiritualmaterialgirl.com. So one of the themes that I'm talking about, the big one, the prominent one for this period, is about closing timelines and collapsing timelines and why this is happening, and then also how we exalt our higher timelines. And this is definitely what's happening in the collective right now in terms of feeling maybe a grieving or a sadness. You might not even really fully understand it, but they're saying that we need to understand it so that we can release what we need to and make room for these new, it's not just like the new timelines are already in place, but we need to exalt them. So we'll talk a lot about that. Reminders, SMG Summer Camp, which is basically Ascension School for 12 weeks. You get 12 weeks of coaching, plus access to all of my online courses. I'm going to guide you through week by week. I'm going to work with you one-on-one. You're going to set goals. This is going to be much more than just your healing, integration, and manifestation tools. It's also going to be everything that you need from A to Z for your ascension, high vibrational living, tips and tools for wellness, physical transformation, recipes, all sorts of things. You're going to receive emails, daily emails, access to online courses. Each week is themed, and I have it in a succession. So to complement the progression of your healing and integration, and it's going to be awesome. It's basically like my intensive program on steroids. So if you guys want to do something fun this summer and you feel like you do really want to get to the next level of your ascension and really integrate in your whole life, then check that out. I don't know if you guys hear in the background, I have a kitty in a litter box who's making lots of noise. Yeah, so rest of the month, another reminder, rest of the month, you still have the opportunity to use the code April10 on Twin Flame Guidance Sessions. That'll save you 10% on those readings. I think I mentioned I already reintroduced 30-minute intuitive guidance sessions for follow-ups. That's on the website now, and all the other services you can check out online. Just click on sessions and workshops when you go to spiritualmaterialgirl.com. So I'm going to be shuffling cards, and I'm going to talk to you for a bit while I'm shuffling. So I'm also drinking my celery juice, you guys. It's morning, and when I'm making this video, and this is an amazing healing tool for me, for millions. If you guys want to check it out, I have a video about it, or you can look at the medical mediums protocol. But I'll finish this at some point when we're on this video. So, and I love the taste. You guys are like, do you like the taste? Yes, I love it. You get so used to it, you crave it. And it's so good for your body that like your body just craves it. So, let's talk about this energy. I'm going to pose a question to all of you who are watching. Are you sad? Are you grieving something? Do you feel sad and you don't know why? Do you feel like you're grieving things and you're not really sure what they are? Is something ending in your life? Is there like a relationship, either business or personal, that's coming to a close, or that you're bringing to a close in some way? Are you a little bit surprised by this ending, but did you also know that it's been a long time coming? Because that's the duality of what's happening right now. It's almost like things are closing, but they're the things that we kind of knew deep down that weren't going to be, that didn't need to come to fruition. But we've played them out. A lot of these things, we've played them out in our minds, in our heads. So there's a certain level of grieving that's happening as these timelines collapse, or as they close, or as we're being urged or nudged to like no longer focus on them. There's a grieving. For some of you, it's leaving, it's the things that you left behind, maybe over the course of the past year that you've still left this opening for. And some of you, well, the majority of the collective, for some of these timelines, you're being asked to close it up now, to like kind of really stand and face the new direction. And it's confusing a little bit because for some of you, it's happening literally in some instances of your life. Like literally things are ending, closing, or you're needing to shut the door on certain thought patterns or cycles. Or you're like needing to look at the current reality and shift your mindset so that you kind of stop feeding the timelines that are no longer in alignment for your highest good, and you kind of like know that, or you're receiving the urgency to do that. Or it's something literal that's ending, that you're saying, yeah, this is not for me anymore. I didn't think it was going to go this way, but I need it to go this way so that more can open up for me. I posted something on social media this week and it said, if you want more, you've got to shut that door. You've got to close that door. So it's true. A lot of times we like we want to keep the doors open because we're afraid, codependency, not sure. We've got all these timelines playing out at once, and it makes the universe confused. The universe can't rise up and meet the exalted timeline. And we are, by July, called in to anchor in a lot of these exalted timelines, these higher timelines. A lot of magic's going to be happening. We don't want to stop ourselves from it. So that's why we're going through this period right now. So what does it feel like? Like I said, it feels like a grieving at some level. It might feel sad. You might feel, as you close these things up, whether it's in your mind, in the physical, or at an energetic level, you might feel it. You might feel still a little torn, or like, and it might feel like a grieving or a sadness. It makes perfect sense if you're feeling that way. So know that that's what's happening, but it is really for your highest good. Like you are going to have an opportunity now to exalt new timelines. So what does that mean for twin flames? I want to explain it to you the best way I can. So it's like this. For twins, you may have to let go of old ways of thinking about the relationship. In your dynamics, you may have had, like, how can I explain this? Okay, so like, when a relationship ends, like, let's just say like regular relationship ends. So two people break up. And, like that phase where you mourn what could have been, right? And it's almost like they're saying you need to do that now in all of your connections, because with some things happening with the twins too, in which there's the opportunity for a higher exalted timelines to show up. And we need to stop being fixated on how we thought it was going to go or what we've been dreaming of. Like, for example, I've had clients say, I've had people say to me, I see you and your twin like under a tree. I've had clients say that, like, I feel me and my twin like getting married under a tree or something. Like, okay, I hear that a lot. Actually, it's quite common. So if you're one of those people, like, you may need to just let that dissolve, so that whatever that vision is, because when you spend 5 seconds in that vision, you spend a millisecond in that vision, you're feeding that timeline. And it doesn't matter if it's self-created or if it's like a vision that's coming to you. When you're with it, you're feeding it. So we may need to, when we see that now grieve that and let it go and allow it to dissolve. Not because it's never going to happen, but because we need to allow for however these unions or these reconnections or these relationships are going to play out. We need them to show up in their highest form. And for that, we need to release all previously conceived notions. It doesn't mean that you can't like dream or visualize. It just means that it's time to maybe visualize in a new way and to let some of those old visions go so that the new can show up. And what they've shown me is that it's showing up in unexpected ways. So the more you fixate on how you want it to be or how you thought it was going to be, the more you're going to stop those unexpected and higher like level surprises and really good gifts and amazing joy from showing up. That's why we're doing this clearing right now. We're clearing it out. Does that make sense? So if you can release these things, whether they're just like visions or like little blips of timelines that we feed throughout the day, or whether they're actual like physical realities that some doors need to close in certain areas of our life, or whether you just feel it maybe happening on an energetic level, like completely out of your control, whatever it is, allow it to happen. Allow it, because it's going to be replaced. A new vision will come to you, or something will just show up in your reality and replace it. Better, higher, more exalted. So for twins, I feel like there's better outcomes coming than you even think for some of you. And, you know, getting stuck on how the past has played out, even playing the past out in your mind is feeding timelines, because you're feeding the fears of, you know, how the relationship, you know, went. And they're saying like you need to really just let that go now. So for most of you though, it's already happening where you're getting the nudge to do this at some level. So like for me, like I'll give you examples. So for me, like I closed up a business relationship recently, and it did feel kind of like that. Well, this was something that I knew would come to an end eventually, but I didn't see it happening like this quickly. But like as it was happening, I just knew it was going to be like a relief, and that it was going to be, but there was still the hesitation in it, but I still had to follow through with it. And then as that closed, I felt like it gave me permission to close the chapter on something else. So then I took steps to close that chapter. And the signs that I got amidst of doing that was that just because I was closing the door on like a relationship, and I feel like a place, and the signs that I got amidst it was like that all still exists. It's just there. The connection's going to open up with that relationship and that place, and that in new ways. Okay. And so yes, I feel like I'm grieving a place. I feel like I'm grieving a business relationship. I feel like those things are happening. There's also, I've heard people, some of you have told me like you're waking up from dreams and you're feeling like this feeling of sadness, or like a lot is shifting, and yeah, things are happening over time for us. So acknowledge that and allow for it. Keep moving forward. Remember I said that in the last video. I don't know if you guys watched the last video, but the guidance has been keep moving forward, no looking back. Look back to learn from your experiences, but right now we got to keep focused on the future. The future timelines are important. And it's not that we need to know them specifically. Remember, the guides are saying we've got to leave room for unexpected surprises. We've got to let it unfold. Stop focusing on the how and the when it's going to show up. You know, and a lot of times when we have those timelines that we're feeding, it's all about like the how. It's me under the tree with the twin, and they're saying like, no, it's not going to probably happen that way now. But it's not that it's not going to happen either. It's that it's going to all play out at the highest level. So whoever's in, alignment for you, whether that's the twin return, it can come in at an even higher level, more exalted, unexpected, quicker, more easily, better than you ever expected. Does that make sense? So that's what we're being called into right now. So I'm going to pull a spread for our masculine and feminine energies, and we'll just roll through this and see what the messages are. I'm going to use a number of decks today, as I normally do. So we're going to use the Starseed Tarot deck, or Starchild, not Starseed, Starchild Tarot. I'm using the Ascended Masters cards, And one just popped out and fell right where it needed to be for the feminine. Okay. And then we'll use some, we'll pull some advice cards as well. So for the feminine, I'm going to start with her first, and then we'll go over to the masculine, and we will look at these combined energies here as well. Okay. All right, guys. So the Empress is coming up for the feminine in reverse. And this is like, they're saying, you know, with the messages around this, they're saying your inner child healing is your priority. And if you're not completing that, working on it in some way, like you're preventing yourself from stepping all the way into your manifestation power, into your true power, into your it's time also to prioritize not just the inner child healing, because they're showing me the parents above this, okay, in reverse. So this is about that healing. We have the rose quartz as the advice card, and that is around the inner child. And I feel like your inner child needs loves and hugs, and your inner child needs to be your priority. So it's not even just healing the inner child. It's more about like letting her lead and honoring her and nurturing her. If you guys haven't done enough inner child healing and you need the tools, I have it for you. Come to soul coaching with me. I promise you it's progressive and really, really actually enjoyable. It won't be hard or as hard as you think if you haven't started this work yet. But for many of you, you have already done this work or are doing this work. And now they're saying it's time to lead with your more healed child, and she needs to be your priority. So you need to be constantly asking her what she needs. You know, what do you need to feel safe today? What do you need to feel empowered? What do you need to feel cared for and loved? What do you need today to feel safe and supported? And by feeding your adult self that, you're going to integrate, right? You're going to give yourself the things that you didn't maybe receive as a child, or that you're wounded, that your wounds are around, or that you're wounded about. And this is going to help heal you. And I feel like a lot of this is just like prioritizing self. And it's not even about that you need to focus on, you know, certain projects or certain like things that you're manifesting. They're just saying like everything that you're manifesting is going to come to be, because you're going to be able to step into your power when you prioritize your inner child and you care for yourself at the level that you need to be caring for yourself. So there's all sorts of ways that we can support our inner child. We can take her out to play in nature. We can do something artistic or creative. We can sit and write and journal and then read it back and hold space for ourselves, validate. We can learn how to celebrate ourselves, learning new ways and introducing new methods of self-care. And this doesn't necessarily have to be like pouring a cup of tea or going to get a massage or getting your nails done. Like self-care is just like, oh, I need to rest. I feel like reading a book right now. I'm going to go do that. That's self-care. Learning how to self-soothe, all of that. That's your priority. And King Solomon wants us to know, like, this is something we must master on our own. And it's really important. That's what the feminine's working on right now. So if you guys have been working on this, I've been hearing it in my readings. I'm proud of you. Keep going. you need tools, come to me or go Vibe Up on Vibe Up, my site, Vibe Up. There's tons of courses for this sort of alignment and integration. How we wear our crown and balance the polarities and work on this. Yeah, let's pull. I'm gonna pull a archangel card around this for the feminine. Just what do we need to know? What does feminine need to know at this time? So I just feel a softness. I feel a love. So in reverse, healthy lifestyle. Okay, so it's like, looks like my green juice. So this is how I care for myself every morning. How do you guys do that? It says, eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. Archangel Raphael is reminding us. So the thing about this, though, is this is also about self-care. This is about taking the time to do that workout, taking that time to make that meal. It's taking the time to make the celery juice and drink it, and and fit it into your day, because you are prioritizing yourself by doing that, right? And that sends such a positive message out to the universe. You are uplifting. I know just by someone in this who's going to see this video is going to be inspired by this, right? And it's like that's what it is. It's like a ripple effect, and and you do that each time you make these steps. You do it for you, but you're also, those around you are also seeing it, and you're inspiring others. So don't forget that, like, this is huge. We're needing to teach our daughters and our sons and our offspring how to prioritize self, not in a selfish way, but in a healthy balance. Okay. And if we prioritize our health more as we're younger, and we learn how to take care of ourselves rather than neglect ourselves, leave ourselves, abandon ourselves, which most of us did in our upbringings, right? Then we learn how to come home to ourselves, and we learn how to, and if we teach this with our offspring at a young age, then they're not going to have health issues and stress issues later in life like we all do, okay? So, and you can change that, though. You can change that at any time. That's why I've incorporated healthy lifestyle and high vibrational living into my summer camp program, because this is what it's about. This is not only just about like, oh, I need to do my shadow work. We're way beyond that now. You've got to be doing this on all levels of your life to fully, really ascend and fully integrate and fully I want to say reap the rewards of this wholeness. And it's not complete, that wholeness, unless you're doing it on all levels. So ask yourself, where might I be neglecting myself or not prioritizing myself? And start to make little changes. That's how it starts. Small changes, small steps. So for the masculine, we see Knight of Cups. And I do feel like there is like there's been positive change for him, and he's starting to make it, but there's still a doorway for him to step through. And I feel like he's a little stuck right now. And they're seeing that there is some drama going on around the masculine. I don't know if that's in his karmic relationship. Feels like it for some. And he's lacking self-confidence. He's lacking the confidence that he needs to detach from either drama of the past or current drama, cycles of, where he aligned with lower vibe people. And now he's also coming into his confidence center, because you see the solar plexus chakra in reverse, and it's saying he's really needing to align with himself, his self-confidence as well, so that he can make better decisions and detach from some of these situations, the ones that don't serve him any longer. And I do feel like he is on the precipice of that. He's feeling the good, the healthy. He's being pulled towards it, but he's still struggling with aligning with that within himself to make the cut, to make the, to have the confidence to move forward into the new beginning for himself. And this is, remember, I keep saying there's a new landscape, and like through that aperture is this new landscape and a new world, and it's positive. And masculine, I feel like the card coming up for masculine is the Sunstone, which is empowerment. It's like making me lightheaded as I talk about this. I don't know why. So it's empowerment. And look what's right below that is Tiger Eye. And that's courage. So there's something that the masculine is needing courage to do. He's needing courage to, maybe he's been hurt in the past. He's gun shy. And maybe there's something that he's in currently that he needs to let go of. Maybe there's that change that he needs to make in his personal, or career life that he's just like afraid to. But I feel like he's standing on the precipice. It's just he's needing to line up. See this, I was just talking in my videos about like aligning with these higher colors like blues and purples and pinks and silver and white. But, they're showing me like really important colors right now are the red, orange, and yellows for the masculine to reground into himself. So he's a little more behind the feminine, I think, in regrounding into himself in the most authentic way. It's not saying that you have a masculine in your life that's not grounded. They might be grounded and have a routine and be, but I'm just seeing but they're not grounded into themselves, like the authenticity of who they are, who they truly are. So this is about having courage to make a move, to make a change, to detach from the old cycles, the old people that he's been hanging out with, that he's been doing the dance with, and even a karmic partner who he could be in turmoil with at this time. And so I feel the precipice. I feel like this is, he's making changes come July, August. And I've been saying that for a while. But first, he has this lining up to do behind the scenes, and that's what he's working on. That's what's waking up a lot of the masculine right now, because he knows he needs to do it, and he's looking for tools. And there's going to be more of a conscious awakening. So the combined energy is the Chariot, and look at that. It's moving forward. It's moving forward. And this is like so amazing that this is what we're talking about. We're talking about exalting our timelines and, forward movement. And I think at any cost, like feminine, you're needing to lead with you prioritizing you and your inner child and healing that piece of you and integrating that. And as you do that, everything can come into focus and fruition. It's even less about what it is you're focusing on, like your projects, because they're saying just keep doing that. But it's that by prioritizing yourself in a new way and sending that signal out to the universe, you're going to be able to get everything off the ground. You're going to be able to take off, right? See how this, and things are going to move forward now. And for the masculine, it's the lining up behind the scenes with himself. It's the coming into his courage and the power, the inner power, the true power, not this egoic power that he has had, or this like passivity. He's coming out of that passivity to make a change, and he's moving forward through that door. He's going through that new door to make a new beginning. And we're seeing bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords, which is a cutting through. Again, it's in reverse, but I do feel like we're cutting through to make some major changes in our lives. And they're starting now in terms of shifting the way we do things. And it feels like self as the priority, whether it's masculine lining up with the solar plexus or the feminine finding her Empress power via prioritizing yourself. It's sort of like the same thing. And so over this is Queen of Crystals. Okay, so I want you to look at this upright. And this is like, and we do see the full moon in the background. And this is someone who is in her divine feminine manifestation power and rooted in that. And This is for the masculine and feminine. This is about our feminine energy being harnessed in a new way in terms of how we're manifesting, and doing it on our own is important. Knowing that we have the resources within, right? And look at this tiger here, who is, what are cats? They represent independence, right? And she's not crutching on to him or her, but it's there to represent that independence. And this is about finding our ability to manifest and bring those things into life that we desire on our own, like via self-reliance, through that lining up with ourselves, through prioritizing ourselves. And I feel like that's going to be happening more and more and more and more and more. And especially through this full moon too, like you're going to have the opportunity to let go of things that maybe you were still hanging on to. Even at an energetic level, there was some level of like codependency, and it might feel weird or wonky for a minute. Like, oh shit, I don't have that anymore. Oh, I don't have that place to turn to, or that person, or that piece of security, or or a false sense of security, or whatever that is. And it's going to force you more into self-reliance, more into a state of trust too. This is someone who's trusting. And so they're saying trust, because if the more you trust and you rely on your own power, your own resources from within, more things are going to move forward for you. So, I mean, I hate to keep bringing the word up, codependency, but it seems to just always be in the readings. And I still feel like we are working on releasing that at some level. These codependent, not even just cycles, but habits, and they might be in there so subtly that we don't even catch them until we let go of something. Then we're like, we feel like the rug's been pulled out, or we're like, oh shit, right? And then you're like, oh wow, I was really crutching onto that. And they're saying resources are within you. Below this, we have Page of Cups, and the Page of Cups is signifying this maturity, that like we're maturing in how we approach life and how we approach our relationships. There is a maturation happening, and that maturity, the way you're starting to look at things, the way you're prioritizing yourself, the coming into your truth, that's enabling things to move forward. Where it might be, blocking us is where we might need to take a long, hard look at ourselves and ask, like, where might we need to adopt a new mindset or grow up a little? But I feel like this is a natural evolution that's happening for most of you. And I think I've even said it to a few clients recently, like, you're really maturing, and it's not just an emotional maturity. It's not like, oh, well, you're going from 16 to 46. It's not like that. It's more like this maturity in our wisdom and how we navigate through our life, how we walk through life, how we see things. It's a oneness. It's a more fully embracing oneness and unity rather than separation. That's maturity. It's our outlooks. It's our perspectives. It's how we're approaching life. It's how we're walking through life, how we're looking at things. Okay. Guidance from the the Angel Therapy deck is books. So they're saying this could be a good time right now to read something that inspires you, but it's also saying a lot of you've got that reading path, and you might be writing something or finishing a book. I know I am. And so books are going to be instrumental for us right now. Reading, writing is all going to be very good, especially things that are of a higher level, maybe that blow your mind a little bit, or like introduce you to more higher level thoughts, right? Gravitate to those things, not the things that are in your comfort zone, but towards the things that are going to be a little bit higher. right? Go to the teachers, the writers who are going to teach you at a higher level. Maybe it's that you're learning about like the Ascended Masters, or one Ascended Master in particular, or the Archangels, or more cosmic concepts or energy, or, you know, they're saying like elevate even what you're reading. So if you normally read like fiction or you read like self-help, they're saying go higher, go to like energy and archangels and Ascended Master, like go to that stuff is what I feel. And they're saying go now. So that Ascended Masters deck is Serpent's Bay, go now. And I feel like that's go now into prioritizing yourself. Go now into your truth center. Go now into your courage. Go now into this higher learning and this expanded view. Everything right now on the horizon is about expansion. Everything is about expansion. Like, this is expansion. This is freedom, but it's also expansion. This, through this aperture, is expansion, right? It's like from this closed, sheltered place to the whole wide, expansive world, new world. And this is about bringing self into that expansion, leading with self into that expansion, how that will all open up for us when we do that. Let's do some advice cards from the Little Wonder deck. And one just popped out on the feminine side, so we'll see what that is in a moment. So that card is Purge, feminine, purge, purge, purge in reverse. Okay. And this also, when we see fire, it's connected to our solar plexus, and purging, it's saying cleanse, clear, release. So that's what the feminine is working on at this time. And remember I said in the last video, like, you know, it's kind of making fun of how we say final purge, because it's really, is it ever really the final purge? But this is really some great purging before some new timelines are going to be exalted. So yeah, you're needing to purge some. Might be crying, might be tears, might be grieving. It's going to cleanse you. It's going to open the space for the new. It's important. And it all feels like it ties back, feminine, to your inner child wounds. That's what is coming up right now. For the masculine, patience, and it's saying divine timing, maturing, persistence. So this is being persistent with your healing. This is about that maturation, right? And as we mature, like, it will open things up to move forward. So they are saying, like, I feel like also for the masculine, like, he's kind of biding his time, and he knows what he wants, and, you know, he's needing to be patient with himself so that he can line up with himself behind the scenes to have the courage to make the changes. And also he's maturing. Like, I feel like stepping up into some of the actions he's going to be taking are really going to show a much more mature masculine, a much more imbalanced masculine energy. So that's huge. Let's see what else they have to say. And for the combined, it's home in reverse. So yeah, this is the, you know, you have to come home to yourself all the way. And we saw this, I think it came in my Facebook Live, this feeling of home. And I've been talking about it a lot. You guys have been commenting on my videos. What does that mean exactly? It means returning our energy all the way into ourselves. Remember, I said self-reliance. It's like completely aligned with ourselves, knowing our resources are within, coming home to ourselves, prioritizing ourselves, right? No longer abandoning ourselves, energy with you. Then all of your timelines can start to come to fruition. The unions, the twin flame unions, all of that stuff. So I hope that's helpful for you. Let me see, that bottom of the angel deck is teaching and learning. And it's interesting because we have the bottom of the angel therapy deck is books. So again, it's like, I feel like you're both seeking new knowledge, and you should be at a higher level, but you're also maybe teaching or writing, and you're giving knowledge. It's time for you to write some of this. Some of you are receiving downloads, or you have that higher level perspective already to share, and you're ready. Some of you are ready to share that. Okay. So might be time for you to teach this in a new way. I think that's complete. Oh, the bottom of the we saw this also in the Facebook Live reading, I believe. The bottom of the crystals deck is spirit quartz, which is music. So high vibrational music can be assisting us at this time, or spirit quartz. And I just feel like that's that up leveling. We need, in order to exalt those timelines, what do we need for exalting timelines? We need to be grateful where we are, happy where we are, and excited for what's to come, and not introducing fear. So it just has to be the absence of fear, happy right where we're at, grateful, happy, not trying to change it, wriggle out, and then, doing what we love, doing what makes us happy, and sustaining that high vibration is going to help us bring those timelines into the 3D. So music's a great tool. I mean, unbelievable tool for raising your vibration. So if you feel those energy dips, or you get low, or you get sad, or whatever, use music to help you. They're asking us to utilize music to help you as a tool to pull your vibration up. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Happy full moon. And I will see you in about a week. Okay. Mwah. Bye.